Well, guys, I think this is going to be what the first official. We should maybe call it conversation with baseball fans. I guess because I don't know about y'all, but I am excited as hell that opening day is just around the corner. Obviously, everybody knows I'm a diehard Yankees fan. Kay's learning how to be a Padres fan, and seniors. What we decided like a borderline a three-way tie for you between what
Yeah, pretty
Astros,
much.
Milwaukee, and Padres.
Yep.
I have to know how you became a
I mean, I
Milwaukee
could
fan.
say something, but it wouldn't be stream appropriate.
I have to know how you became a Milwaukee fan.
Really and truly, it just funny enough, it started when because I always grew up watching Houston,
Okay.
and back when they were in the NL Central playing Milwaukee,
Yeah.
it started off with the affinity of the jerseys.
Okay.
Then it started to where I started liking the gameplay, then the ownership, then the moves they were making.
So you
And
actually
then
like
I
paid
followed
attention to it.
Yelich. And then when Yelich got traded to Milwaukee, that really got it going because I followed Yelich before he even got drafted by Miami.
Right.
I was following Yelich.
So you were following him in
back
college
when
ball?
they were looking at him as a prospect.
Yeah. Speaking of prospects, did you see that stat that I think you were the one that posted it, that Oregon guy that hit 4 walk-off bombs?
Oregon, four straight games with 4 homers.
Yeah, that's insane. But that shouldn't count as an MLB stat because he's not technically drafted yet. Right?
Yeah, no, they're just saying that's. I think it's a college stat. I don't think it's an MLB stat. It's a college stat. But either way,
That was a college stat?
fun fact on that: if he does go 1-1, he'll be the first Australian drafted round 1, pick 1.
No kidding.
Yep, I looked it up the other day. He'll be the first one drafted 1-1. They've had others that have gone and been drafted or played in the majors, but none has ever gone 1-1.
Okay. All right, so we're gonna do a breakdown of our 3 teams and their opening day rosters and what we think. So of course, because we go in order of who has the most World Series wins, Yankees will be first. We've got this is projected off of MLB.com. Catcher, they're projecting Trevino and Wells will share duties behind the plate. First base, Rizzo. Second base, Torres. Shortstop, Volpe. Third base is going to be John. We just traded for today, I believe. Outfielders.
Traded for John Birdie today.
Yeah. Outfielders are Aaron Judge, Soto, Verdugo, and Grisham. And we got Grisham in the Soto trade, didn't we?
Yep.
I think that's how we got him.
That came as a package deal.
Okay. Our DH is Stanton. Utility players are going to be Cabrera and I guess I don't know, Jaime Jones. Is that how you'd say it? Spelled Jahmai.
Yeah, it's pronounced Jahmai Jones.
Jahmai Jones. Okay, I was going to butcher that. Starting 5 because Cole being out is going to be Nestor 1, Rodon 2, Stroman 3, Schmidt 4, and Gill 5 is what MLB's predicting for them. Let's go Houston. Astros opening day roster 2024. So again for Houston, Diaz, Caratini sharing duties behind the plate. Abreu at first. By the way, Kay, that's who's on first.
Who? I gotta write that down.
Then you got Altuve second. Altuve just signed another deal. Damn. Pena shortstop, Bregman third base. Then your outfielders are McCormick, Myers, and Tucker. DH is Alvarez. Your utilities are Dubon, Kessinger, and Singleton. And your starting five are Valdez, Javier, Brown, France, and Blanco. Any real shockers there, Senior?
Cool note about Blanco. When he got told yesterday after he pitched an exhibition game that he was making an opening day roster, went 4 in the third innings and struck out 10. Cool thing about it was before he even got to the game, he had a baby that was born that day.
No kidding.
Yeah, so talk about blessings on top of blessings for him.
All right. And then continuing with it, the Padres projected roster. Catching, you got Campusano and Higgy sharing duties behind the plate. I'm going to miss Higgy in New York. That's for damn sure. Wow, they just did infield. They didn't even break it down by base for the Padres. Damn. They just said the Padres infield is going to be Bogarts, Cronenworth, Hassan Kim, Machado, Paulie, Rosario, and Wade. And then the outfield is going to be Tatis Jr., Profar, Merrill, Azakar. And then let's see, rotation, Darvish, Musgrove. I can't pronounce it. Is it Casey? Is that how you say it? Dylan, what's it? How do you say his last name? Cease? Dylan Cease? Okay. And then Michael King and Matt Waldrop. Or Waldron. Sorry, Waldron. That's their projected starting five. Yeah. And then bullpen is, I mean, I didn't mention it for the others, so I'm not going to mention it for them, but, you know, anybody's anybody in the bullpen. Dude, I'd tell you, what is your, like, surprise trade or whatever from the offseason / spring training? Because I have my pick. Like, you're surprised. Like, whoa, you didn't see that coming.
Well, I can tell you one that I definitely saw coming was the Yanks trade. Definitely saw that one coming. But
for which
really,
one, though?
Truly, I guess the one I really didn't see. The one I didn't see coming was the 3-way that just happened today. I really didn't see that one coming.
Yeah.
It's a tie. Well, I take that back. A tie between that and the White Sox because Chicago was very firm, it seemed like, in that they weren't going to move Cease.
Right.
And then out of nowhere, here comes San Diego.
Yeah, out of left field. I tell you what caught me by surprise was the overall poor performance by anybody represented by Boris in their deals. It's like they all signed like last minute panic deals for far below, like the last ones of what Monty, and who else was holding out? Monty and I'm drawing a blank. Help me here. I'm gonna have to.
I think Chappie's represented by Boris.
It wasn't it. It's gonna drive me nuts now. It was Monty and Boris.
Yeah, Monty, Snell, and Chapman.
That's it. They each got like 1 or 2 year deals for like fractions of what they were asking for.
Oh yeah.
Here's an interesting thing though. It's got every athlete on Scott Boris's client list ranked. I don't know who this is. This is some random ass website, but we'll see how they go. I don't know. So it's Bryce. They have Bryce Harper listed as 1, who's currently on $26 million per year. Soto as 2, who's currently $23 million per year. Seager as 3, who's on $34.5 million a year. Cole, who's on $36 million a year. Scherzer, who's on $43.3 per year. Altuve on 26. Bellinger on 17.5. Bogarts on 25.5. Martinez on 10, Hoskins on 12, Snell on 31, Bryant on 27, Nemo on 20, Rodon on 27, Correa on 33, Arias on 14.3, Bell on 33, the other Bell on 16.5, both called Josh. Paxton on 10. I mean, this list just goes on and on. He's got a lot of people on his freaking client list.
Yeah.
A lot
But
of
it's like
people.
I saw a thing today. It goes, "Are we seeing the end of the Boris era?"
Yeah, if he can't materialize deals for those guys, I mean, come on, that's a problem for him. That is a problem for him if he can't materialize deals for those guys. That was, I expected the Yanks to go after Monty hard, and whatever Boris was demanding was probably. I mean, obviously it was enough for them to say nope. Because I would have taken Monty back given the shortfalls that we're having at the moment. But then again, you take Monty back, and once Cole comes back, where do you put him? Is kind of how I feel about that.
I mean, you can move Gil to longer lease.
Yeah.
If they had signed Monty, they could have moved Gil to longer lease.
Could have done. Kay, are you learning anything from us yapping?
I'm a little bit lost on where you're getting these stats from.
I mean, so give us like the back. Did you get into baseball simply from listening to us talk about it?
I got into baseball simply because I banned somebody in one of your chats for chatting about baseball, and you're like, no, you got to bring that guy back. And that's why I was like, I better get into baseball so I at least know what they're talking about.
So, I mean, Padres came because that was kind of like a neutral team between Senior and I.
Kind of.
Yeah.
Just like, I heard that one, the Dodgers and the Yankees. I was like, well, both of you pick one of the others, so I'll pick this one.
Yeah, I mean, because I have a fair amount of Padres merch. We won't say why, but I have a fair amount of it. We'll keep that little nugget in the chest there for potential things down the road. And then I'm almost done designing Senior's official scorekeeper T-shirt. Getting close. I do have to add that last element that we were talking about the other day. I just got to figure out where to put it. But I like how that draft turned out that I showed you, and I might throw it up on the recording here. Who knows? But I think that turned out pretty well. And I hope we do this like chat at least once a week or once every other week or something. Put something out there because a lot of the stream talks about baseball with us. Like we've attracted baseball fans. Because I know we've got Andrew that gets involved in it on the Discord.
Yeah, Carter does every now and then.
Every now and then they'll be like, "Hey, did you see this? Did you see that?" And we're like, "Yeah, boom, 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 boom," and we'll go back and forwards. I mean, but I'm looking at who are we starting off against. Let's pull up MLB. We're going to go down the opening day against everybody. So we start against y'all, Senior. But opening day games.
Wish I could be there.
Right. Right.
God, that would be a heck of a matchup to see in person.
So opening day is we're going to go down the matchups and who's pitching against who. So we've got Yankees and Astros. That's going to be Cortez and Valdez. The Braves Phillies got postponed. Sox Mariners have Bello and Castillo. Then you've got Giants and Padres, but that's not season opener for the Padres. It is for the Giants, though, isn't it? is the
Not for the Giants,
yeah, not for the Padres. The Padres are currently 1-1 on the season. But that's going to have Webb versus Darvish. Then you got Angels and Orioles, which is Sandoval versus Burns. Nationals Reds, which is Gray Montas. Cardinals Dodgers, which is going to be season opener for Cardinals, not for the Dodgers. Mikolas for Cardinals and Glasnow for Dodgers. We got Blue Jays versus.
I'll say a quick side note on that.
Yep.
If Michaelis pitches like he did when he was a stud, that could be a heck of a matchup.
Could be. That's one we're going to pay attention to. Then you got, continuing down the list, you've got Blue Jays, which is, well, I'm surprised you're not a Blue Jay fan, Kay. They're your local.
Yeah.
I know, but you know what? All the Toronto teams, unfortunately, don't do well, like the Leafs, or
Yeah.
it don't matter what the sport is, so we just leave them alone.
So we got Blue Jays and Rays, which is Berrios and Eflin. Then you got Twins Royals, which is Lopez and I can't even pronounce this. Reagans, is that how you say it? For KC.
Yeah.
Then you got Tigers White Sox, which is Skubal versus Crochet. Then you got Keller and Lizardo, which is Pirates Marlins. Almost said Mariners. You got Cubbies and Rangers, which is Steely and Eovaldi. Guardians Athletics, which is Bieber and Wood. Then you got Rockies and D-backs, which is Freeland and Gallen. And then your Brewers and Mets got postponed as well, which I imagine is also the same weather that postponed the other one. So that's quite a lot of baseball tomorrow. And I'm going to be watching all of it.
There's a lot of baseball.
I'm going to watch absolutely all of it. It kicks.
I finally found the page that you were looking at to get all this information, because I just honestly thought you were pulling these names out of a hat.
You talking about the client list?
Yeah.
Yeah. What'd you find it on Ranker or some shit?
No, right on MLB's website.
Oh, no, I got it off some second rate. He's got a shit ton of people on his client list. Like, if he's getting 10% from all these dudes or whatever it is, he making some money. He making some money.
What is the client list? What is that?
It's who he represents as players, like the players that he represents in negotiations.
Oh, I gotcha.
Yeah.
I don't really gotcha, but
well, it's like they all have agents that negotiate their deals for them. He's their agent, and they're his clients. And I mean, I'd imagine he gets at least 10% of the deals.
I gotcha.
So, I mean, he's getting 2.7 off of Rodon. He's getting 3.3 off of Correa. You know, he's getting 3.3 off of Josh Bell. You know, I mean, these are just some of the big ones he's getting. I didn't know that. I didn't know Altuve signed another deal with the Astros.
Yeah, it was basically more or less giving. I like the way somebody put it. They said give him the Craig Biggio contract, more or less, to where he'll be an Astro for life.
Oh yeah. So yeah, it says Altuve and the Astros agreed to a 5-year, $125 million contract that covers 25 through 29. Houston announced a new multi-year deal for Altuve without disclosing financials. Altuve has a $26 million salary for 24 in the final season of a 7-year, $163.5 million deal. So yeah, I mean they're basically just continuing his pay at what he's getting paid. So
yeah,
how much has Altuve made in his career? About $300 million, Mark.
Is that all?
Yeah. Well, it says at 33 years old, Altuve stands on the precipice of history as the first second baseman to surpass the 300 million mark in career earnings. His exceptional talent and cheating and leadership have guided the Astros to 4 pennants, 2 World Series titles over his 13-year tenure. So, one of which should not be on his record, but that's neither here nor there.
What does he get paid per year?
He is this year he will make 26, which is not nearly the highest
$26
paid.
million per year?
This year he'll make 26 million. Yeah. Are you doing some sort of math there?
That's just over. Well, it's like $2.16 million a month.
Yeah. Well, obviously the record deal is Ohtani, obviously signing a 10-year, $700 million contract. So, but
And that ruined baseball.
100%. 100%. And then his
Thank you,
interpreter
Dodgers,
gets
for ruining
popped
baseball.
for his interpreter gets popped for gambling his money away. And
Yeah, exactly. And he doesn't have any involvement. No, we all know he's getting paid.
did you see what Pete Rose came out and said? Because Pete Rose made a comment. He's like, man, he's like, in the 80s, I wish I had an interpreter. I'd be scot-free. I was like, yeah, buddy. So, Kay, to give you, because I don't imagine you know who Pete Rose is. Okay, so Pete Rose is the all-time leader in hits in MLB, and right up there on stolen bases too, isn't he, Senior?
Yeah,
because he's
stolen bases.
He's hits and stolen bases. He got banned from MLB for life for betting on sports, which is a no-no. Yeah, which is a no-no. Because they're worried about fixing games and all that kind of stuff, which he didn't do.
Right.
But he just gambled is all he did. While Ohtani's interpreter is getting pinched for using Ohtani's money to gamble on sports, and Ohtani's saying, hey, I knew nothing about this. But it's your money. And it's not like it's like 20 grand or 30 grand, like shit that he might, when he's earning a salary like that, he might not notice, right?
Yeah.
Especially with English not being his primary language. But when it's millions of dollars, come on now. Give him the Pete Rose treatment, kick him out of baseball, and let's get back on with the show. But that's my issue with it.
Speaking of which, hot topic on that, do you think Pete Rose will ever get elected
Yes.
to the Hall of Fame?
Yes, I do. But I think it will be posthumously. So, and the reason why that works, like the math on that works, is because posthumously he will have served out his lifetime ban. And then there'll be a way for them to get him into the Hall of Fame. There's no way with what he did as a player you can keep him out of the Hall of Fame. There's no way.
Right.
Otherwise, what is the point of the Hall of Fame? I mean, he's got a hitting record that arguably may never get touched.
Exactly.
So if you're gonna, it will taint every other record that's in there. Like, be like, oh, this is the guy with the highest hit record in the Hall of Fame, but you're not Pete Rose. So there will always be that cloud hanging over him. It'd be like, yeah, you might be the number one that got elected, but Pete Rose beat you. So, and because of some goofy regulations, you're seeing like massive ped users still not getting life bans. So why does Pete Rose get that? I would argue that Peds was worse. But I mean,
definitely.
did any of the major guys from the steroid era get lifetime bans from MLB? Because I don't think so.
No.
Exactly my point. And like Tatis Jr., didn't get a lifetime ban, and he pissed hot for Mexican horse meat. It's Pete Rose will be in the Hall of Fame. I just think it is likely going to be posthumously. Which will be a shame if that is what it takes. But there's far worse people that should not be even considered, and they are still eligible. So, what do you think? You think Bauer's going to get a deal? because I think he will.
I think it's possible Bauer can get a deal.
I think it's going to be. I think the way that Bauer gets a deal is a team comes to him and says, "All right, put your money where your mouth is. Take a league minimum deal." Because he's public as having said it. I'll sign a league minimum deal to play, and 1 year league minimum. I'm like, all right, let's do this. So, which I don't know. Imagine Kay probably doesn't know who Trevor Bauer is either. He's just shaking his head. He's like, nope.
I was gonna ask, what's the league minimum?
I think after the last CBA, which is the players union negotiating with the league, I think it's like 600,000 now. Yeah.
I think so. Like 600,000 or 700,000.
Is the year like a January to December, or is it like
it's a season? Baseball season. Okay, so the minimum salary for a Major League Baseball player in 2023 is 720,000, which is divided by 162 games to get a daily total of about $4,400 a day.
No kidding.
Yeah. The minimum salary will increase to 760,000 in 2025 and 780,000 in 26.
Oh.
The minimum salary for 24 though is 720,000. So.
Yeah. So by 28, it'd probably be 800. They're going to keep increasing it by 20,000.
Well, I don't know when the CBA expires.
I think it expires in 26. I think.
Yeah, 26. So December 1st, 2026. Yeah. So we've got to
just not let there be another holdout in.
I think every time they do that, it's shameful on sports, right? In a nutshell.
Oh yeah, it is.
Because they're and that transcends any sport. You're absolutely right, because they're already getting overpaid, in my opinion. And now I don't fault the players, because the players are just taking market value, like what people are willing to pay them.
Yep.
So I do not fault the players at all. Don't get me twisted on that. I think the whole thing in general is ridiculous. Because you've got people in much more beneficial professions to society than baseball or hockey or football or whatever it is, and they get paid crap compared to what these athletes get paid. So, don't get me twisted. It's across all sports. Everybody's overpaid. I mean, you got some guy kicking a ball in Saudi Arabia for $250 million a year over 2 years, or for 2 years rather. It's ridiculous. So,
yeah.
Okay, you're hiding behind your tablet.
I'm here.
he just pops around the side. He's like, "Hi guys." He's like, "I don't know what the hell these two are talking about, but I'm here, damn it."
Right.
He's like, what is that? Prairie dog pops up at the hole.
Yeah, just hey guys. All right. So out of our 3 teams, Padres, yes or no postseason?
I think the Padres are going to surprise, and I think they're going to make the wild card.
Okay. What do you think, Kay?
I have no idea. They didn't play great last year, so.
No, they did not. They played like absolute crap. But then again,
I do know.
Well, because I follow them, and I've got no room to talk. The Yankees played like absolute crap last year too. I think the Yankees will make the postseason this year. I'm cautious to say is we'll make it any further than just making the postseason. I think if we don't make the postseason, I think Aaron Boone gets fired immediately. And I would like to think that Cashman would be shortly behind him. Of course, the Astros are going to make it, because if they make it halfway through the season and they're even at risk of not making it, they'll bring the trash cans out and start banging them again. So, that's just how that works. But yeah, I think we're gonna have a good year of baseball. Nothing would make me happier than the Dodgers not to make it. I agree.
I'd love to see that happen.
That would just make me happier than a pig in poop. It really would, because them blowing the bankroll like that and finding the loopholes in contracts by deferring everybody's money so they don't get financial fair play penalties.
That's the thing.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So, like for example,
Yep.
since we mentioned Ohtani's
They should be
deal,
investigated for it.
yeah, they're going to get investigated for it for sure. So for like that $700 million deal over 10 years, right, Kay?
Yep.
So they deferred all but 600 or all but 20 million of it. So 680 million of it got deferred till after the contract technically expires. So per year, they're only paying Ohtani $2 million a year over 10 years, or each year for 10 years. After that 10-year contract expires, it ramps up to $68 million a year for the following 10 years.
Oh.
But because he will potentially no longer be under contract with the Dodgers, it doesn't hit their financial fair play regulations because he's no longer a Dodgers player. And where it gets even more interesting is the state of California is investigating them for it because the state is worried that once that 10-year deal is up, Ohtani's going to leave California and go back to Japan or somewhere else, and he's going to be getting $68 million a year that he's no longer paying California taxes on.
Right.
So California's like, hey, y'all got to cut us a check because
Yeah.
they're like,
who's gonna float the remaining balance after the contract's done?
the Dodgers will.
Yeah, but who's to say that?
Oh yeah,
they're not
Dodgers.
gonna-
It all comes out of the Dodgers.
Yeah, but who's to say that they're not just gonna say, oh, your contract's done, we don't owe you
But
any money?
look at it as like contract part A and contract part B is
Okay,
kind of a way to describe it. He's under contract part A for the first 10 years and like part B for the second 10 years. So
pretty
it's
much a 20-year contract.
in a nutshell, yeah. I mean that's a way to look at it, yeah. It's like while you're playing for the Dodgers, while you're not playing for the Dodgers, he's kind of getting like Senior will know this, a Bobby Bonilla day, for 10 years after that. And
Yeah.
if I need to explain
He's
Bobby
literally
Bonilla to
Bobby
you,
Bonilla.
Kay, I can do that.
I have no idea what that even means.
So Bobby
All I know is he
Bonilla was a Mets player back in what the 80s, 90s, Senior, wasn't it?
Yeah, 80s and 90s, and yeah, that's to me that's still one of the more funniest stories in Major League Baseball.
So the final contract that it was when he got released by the Mets, wasn't it? If I get this right, I don't want to get it wrong.
I don't remember if it was. I don't remember if it was when he was released or he just like straight up retired and was still getting paid because of the deferments. I don't.
Let's see,
remember
Bobby.
exactly.
I'm gonna look this up.
But yeah, you'll even get a good laugh out of this. Kid when you hear the whole
yeah.
story.
So here it goes. So Bobby Bonilla, the former New York Mets, is under an agreement with the Mets that from 2020 or from 2011 through for the next 25 years. So from 2011 through 2035, every July 1st, the Mets pay him $1.2 million.
No kidding.
So rather than pay him lump sum of like 30 some odd million dollars, they said, hey, can we defer this over 25 years? And he's like, bet. He's absolutely, you can do that because I'm getting 1.2 million a year from you assholes for the next 25 years.
No kidding.
I don't ever have to lift a finger and do another damn thing a day in my life. And so every July 1st, everybody around MLB says Happy Bobby Bonilla Day.
No kidding.
Yeah. The exact number, according to this picture here, is July 1st, the Mets pay him $1,193,248.20. So,
Sign me up.
yeah, I would absolutely take that deal. He will be
Right.
72 years old when the payments end. He is 60 now, or
No
61.
kidding.
He will be 72 when those payments end.
How about that for retirement?
Absolutely. Absolutely. Does not have to do crap for the rest of his life.
Right?
Arguably the best deal ever signed by a player in MLB history.
But when did he sign that?
Wakes up, drinks a
Well, the deal went into effect in 2011.
Okay.
He'll wake up, drink a cup of coffee, and piss excellence for the rest of his life.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. The Orioles, by the way, also pay Bobby Bonilla. Little known fact. The Orioles also pay through 2028, so he's getting another 4 years of this deal. The Orioles also pay Bobby Bonilla $500,000 a year, and they have been doing that since 2004.
No kidding.
So he's getting arguably almost $2 million a year, and he doesn't do anything. Nothing.
Right?
So it would be like Ohtani saying, "All right, you can give me $7 million a year for the next, whatever number of years." It would be insane.
Right? Even if it was 45 years.
Yeah. Well, I mean, to get that, it would have to be $7 million a year for 100 years.
Oh, so he'd be dead. So his
Yeah, he'd be
grandkids
long
would
dead.
benefit.
So it'd be more like 15 million a year for 50 years, or we're
Yeah.
getting into some dangerous math. But it was like if he had deferred that over a long ass period of time, shit.
Right?
Sign me up for that.
Speaking of that,
But then
think about this.
I just look at the taxes and you pay a stupid amount of taxes, so what would they pay? 50%?
Speaking of
50%?
Dodgers,
Probably at least 30%. At least like
all?
33%. Yeah, something at least that, if not more, depending. Because I don't know, obviously tax brackets when you get that high. I don't.
Yeah.
I don't know them.
I just know it's ridiculously high.
Yeah. Oh no, but like you talk about high taxes for athletes, that's Spain.
Oh, really?
I think Spain's like 40-50%.
You just come to Ontario and make I think if you make over $250,000 a year, I think it's like 47% in taxes.
Oof. Yeah, miss me with that. I would never have any business
Yeah.
in Ontario ever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm gonna actually find it out because
I'm gonna
is
go to the Cayman
ridiculously
Islands
high.
and do it that way or something like that. I don't know, but
Right?
No.
yeah.
Speaking of more Dodgers news, Will Smith just signed a 10-year, $140 million extension.
Oof. And he's not talking about the actor, okay?
Who?
Yeah, that guy on first.
The guy up first. Uh-huh.
And if I'm not mistaken, I think his payments are deferred too.
Wouldn't surprise me.
No.
So, as of March 2023, this is the valuation of MLB clubs. You have Yankees 1, Dodgers 2, Red Sox, Cubbies, Giants, Mets, Angels, Braves, Phillies, Cardinals, Astros, Rangers, Mariners, Blue Jays, White Sox, Nationals, Padres, Orioles, Brewers, Rockies, Tigers, Twins, D-backs, Pirates, Guardians, Rays, Royals, Reds, Athletics, Marlins. Every single one of those teams is valued at least $1 billion. With the Yankees at by far the highest at 7.1, followed by the Dodgers at 4.8. So they're saying the Yankees pulled in $657 million. I'm like, I don't know where they get these numbers from.
Right.
But Yankee Stadium apparently cost 1.9 billion to build. Something like that is what I say. I don't know where they're getting these stats from, but
There's no telling.
yeah, I mean, and this is Wikipedia, and I don't know where they're getting these stats from. But that's evaluation, anyways.
Pretty sure that's your first problem.
Right, that it's Wikipedia. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I'd have better odds of getting accurate stats if I opened my window and shouted at the people living across the street. Would probably be better stats, but you know, that's neither here nor there. All right. Telling you, Kay, you got to get some of this Indian food, my dude. You got to get on that train. So. I'm listening to I'm in a group chat with my friends, and they're all talking about going to the Padres game next month, or Padres Yankees next month. But, anywho's, guys, I think this is a good spot to end number 1. I think it's a solid spot. So I look forward to doing this throughout the season. Everybody across the platforms, which you're watching, like, follow, subscribe, click on whatever you're supposed to, and we'll catch y'all in the next one. Peace.